Very much, Councillor O'Donovan. We'll now move to the section working together for our towns, our cities and our rural communities, and I ask Senator Lorraine Higgins to introduce this section.
Thank you, Chair. Conference, as I've travelled all over County Galway, visiting our towns and talking to our local businesses, I've seen what you and I know to be true. Towns are part of our lifeblood of all of our communities, and thriving towns are vital for local shops, not just within the town itself, but for the people throughout the surrounding areas. And we just have to ask ourselves, where would we be without the local newsagent, without the florist and the local butcher? Or in my own hometown of Athenry, where would we be without the post office or a restaurant to drop into? Thriving towns also support essential local jobs and services. In fact, it is estimated that around 225,000 jobs in retail alone in villages, towns and cities across the country, and recent trends on job and economic growth have been very positive and incredibly encouraging. There is no doubt that the domestic economy and local businesses will continue to play a vital role in driving our sustainable and long-term recovery. However, I must admit that one of the most disturbing impacts of the recession has been the sight of boarded up shop fronts and vacant units along our town streets. That's bad for the local economy, but it's also very bad for our towns. And we must remember why this has happened. All we have to do is think back to what we inherited in 2011. The Troika were in town, mass unemployment, people in mortgage distress, emigration, no minimum wage, more people paying the USC, little support for entrepreneurs and local economies, jobs and incomes falling, the tax take plummeting, no national capital plan, and a government in disarray, all because of the mismanagement of our economy. Our world was suddenly a very, very different place. This, my friends, is the legacy the last Fianna Fáil government left us, and the one that taught Micheál Martin everything he knows. And the Labour Party has had to react to that crash. Eamon Gilmore had to stop family homes being repossessed by forcing banks to do deals. He's had to introduce the personal insolvency legislation, creating 58,000 jobs and taking hundreds of thousands of people out of the universal social charge. Then we've Joan Burton, who introduced tax breaks for those looking to employ staff, retaining the basic social welfare rates and opening new Intrio offices to provide jobs and supports to job seekers throughout the country. Brendan Howlin provided the country with funds so that a stimulus plan we could embark on building schools and other initiatives. Alex White then introduced free GP care for under fives. Jan O'Sullivan continues to deal with reducing the number of unfinished estates, and Pat Rabbitte is bringing broadband to our schools and rural areas and introducing better energy schemes, delivering upgrades to thousands of houses in Ireland. And in the last budget, friends, the Living Cities scheme was introduced to encourage people back to living in the centres of Irish cities and to encourage the refurbishment of the rural heartland of central business districts. The new Start Your Own Business scheme encourages people who have been unemployed for at least 15 months to start their own businesses with a 2-year exemption from income tax up to a maximum of €40,000 per year. Then the new examinership light system will allow small firms with a much more cost-effective and efficient system of recourse to the Circuit Court to help sort out their financial problems. And the rescheduling of the budget, it must be said, was a critical issue in terms of the spending month, changing it from December to October, which has been a very important move for local Irish retailers out there and has helped contribute to the growing consumer confidence we feel today. The new postcode system will also benefit our small and medium enterprises in terms of tackling fraud and encouraging smaller and medium-sized businesses to get online in terms of sales and the promotion of their business. And let's look at what Deputy Kieran Lynch is doing as Chair of the Dáil Finance Committee. He has ensured that the sporting towns and small businesses remains high on the committee's agenda and is in constant consultation with a wide range of community and business groups throughout this country. Joan Burton, Brendan Howlin, Pat Rabbitte, Rory Quinn, Jan O'Sullivan, Sean Sherlock, Alex White and Kathleen Lynch, along with Antónis Saim and Gilmore, have all played their part in Ireland's revival and have led from the front. But that's the reality of this Labour Party. We adapt to the changing world around us because that's what we do. And in Galway East, since I have been nominated to the Seanad, one of my priorities since being elected, or nominated rather, has been to work with the local residents in the area and businesses in supporting our towns. In Athenry, for example, I continue to work very closely with a number of community groups and committees to help raise the international profile of the town. We twinned the town with Renews in Canada recently and also ensured that we had images of the town at the Celtic-Liverpool match in the Aviva Stadium last summer. And of course we work on an ongoing basis to help the town in terms of businesses and jobs. Because as people, as businesses and as an economy, we have had to make that decision. Will we just allow the future to happen and let negativity thrive and let opportunities vanish? Or would we stand together as one Ireland to shape these changes, to build the future that we want for our children, for our families and for our communities? The Labour Party have chosen the latter. We, friends, joined this party because we believe that together we can shape that future. We can empower people to make the dreams a reality. We have a better vision and we rose to challenge of changing Ireland. We set the country on a new and better track because I know Eamon Gilmore wants more, I know the Labour Party wants more, and I know the country deserves better.
Thank you very much, Lorraine. I'm going to finish you on that. It's rousing stuff, but we're going to plough on. Thanks, Lorraine. Can I ask now the next speaker, Mary?